Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses. Can you show me your copy that you're using right now? Many of you are not lifting anything because it's already in here, correct? When I ask you to chant chapter 9, verse 9, you're already doing it. Contemporary teachers, like Puja Swami Chinmayananda, their Bhagavad Gitas contain 701 verses. In chapter 13, they add verse 1. They add this because Shri Krishna gets into these really complex answers, and so verse 1 helps to set up the context for these complex answers. In Meaningful Mornings, we have only used 700 verses, so we don't take up that inserted verse. But if you really want to get to know this verse more, we have created a map called Prince Arjuna's Questions, pack. And a majority of Prince Arjuna's questions come in the beginning of chapter 13. Use that resource for your own reflection. Prince Arjuna has all of these questions because he knows if he's going to follow fully, he has to know more. He can't have a casual understanding of the map of divinity. He needs to know so that he can follow. He asks lots of questions. Shri Krishna offers lots of answers. One of the most lovely questions that Prince Arjuna asks is, what is knowledge? What is knowledge? And I like this question a lot because he's not taking for granted that he knows. We have a strong propensity to feel, I already know. But he is asking what is knowledge. He is not taking for granted that this subjective science is a objective science. It is no longer about the people who are in Northern Bharat. It is about him. In our 10th semester, it was day 108. That was May 1st of 2023. We started to explore an awesome part of Bhagavad Gita that starts in verse 7. I'm reminding you, for those who are using Puja Swami Chinmayan in this commentary, it will be your verse 8. I've stated it as verse 7. From verses 7 to 11, that is 5 verses, Shri Krishna shares 20 values. These 20 values are what knowledge is. Not the theory, but one following through. It is those who are virtuous that are wise. Amanitvam madambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham stairyam atma vinigraha. Joy. How many of you remember studying all of this? The first value, if it's in a book, it's a value. If it's in you, it's a virtue. The first value is amanitvam. Please share with me in the chat. How do you translate that into English? Amanitvam. Humility. Correct. And the last value, not in this verse, but over the 5 verses, is darshana. What does darshana mean? Vision. Good. Those who are humble, they start to feel the vision that they are divine. Asi. I obviously can't go into all of this in detail, but I am giving you many references for your further reflection. I'll read out some of the other values when we gather tomorrow. We are transitioning into chapter 13, whose focus is not bhakti but jnana. Not tat but asi. This chapter is very lovely because it begins with Prince Arjuna not taking for granted what he has heard, what he has read. He knows that if one is not living what they've heard and read, that means they don't know this. You have heard and read about all pervasiveness, but if you're not living it, then you don't know it. And this notion is so well connected to chapter 12. In chapter 12, Shri Krishna shares the one who follows through with bhakti is dear to me, is close to me, is me. For us to make knowledge real, it is important to be in a system where knowledge is real. And what I'm specifying here is a parampara, a lineage. In this micro example that I'm playing out, I like to think that I'm dear to Puja Swami Tejolayananda. Factually, I was close to him physically. I lived there for 25 months. I'm never going to say that I am him, but I'm trying to help him the way he's helping all of us. Because of my experience with the parampara, I've seen what knowledge looks like when it's lived. So for everyone who finds that they're caught up in theory, try to be dearer, closer, easier to a parampara. Prince Arjuna wants to know what knowledge is, and Shri Krishna shares knowledge is values. And what an affirmation that EQ really is IQ, but IQ is not EQ. Overtly, Shri Krishna is sharing this. The values that are stated in this section from verses 7 to 11, in 7, the values are humility, unpretentiousness, non-harm, forgiveness, integrity, service to the guide, purity, steadiness, and self-direction. These are some of the 20 values. I had highlighted the first, which is amanitva. Amanitva means humility. And the last, which is darshana, which means vision. One more special value that actually has come in this first verse is acharya upasana. Acharya means the one who's living what they're sharing or teaching. But upasana means to sit near. I'm trying to make the connection to chapter 12 again. If you're sitting near your guide, that means you're dearer, closer, easier, then you will come to see what they see. This morning, 2 seekers had left our home, and I was showing them all of the places that I have to teach in, the basement, the closet, outside. Soon I'll be on the road. But my point is, when they come, they get to see what I see. Otherwise, you're only seeing behind me. Acharya upasana. Be dear, closer, easier to your guide. This section of Bhagavad Gita is really awesome. Back in the day, I had written many e-vicharas on these values. I described them as virtues for relationships. Anyone who wants to be more cheerful and content in relationships. Live these values so that they are your virtues.